Hello, everybody. Here we are again. It is Tuesday, the 6th of August. Uh, a big shout out to everyone. Thank you so much for Dawn for birthday wishes. She said I'm trying to answer as many as I can, so it was pretty funny. Anyway, she's got her fingers are in a cast. I'm just kidding. But anyway, thank you for all that. Today we're going to shine the light on a wonderful lady, Judy Miller. She actually sent me a unicorn, a dancing unicorn. It's over there. I ain't got time to go get it, but I wore out the battery anyway. I still have it. It's sitting on a shelf. I have it out in the open all the time. It's pretty funny. But anyway, as you know, one thing I want to say before we spotlight Judy is over the weekend, the last few days, there's been a lot of webinars from OTech Pros to Heroes and Ask him on OTech Pros. Things are going well. There's a lot of videos that they're very powerful if you check out over the weekend. All of them are on all the channels. I'm making little scripts of clips of videos for certain people. So you'll be able to grab them and look at them also. Anyway, I'm going to have Chris introduce this great lady, and I'll be back. Go ahead, Chris.
Thank you, Marty DeGarmo. Good morning. I love you, brother. Thank you for all the work you do. I did not bother Marty DeGarmo today because I asked him, are you busy? Because I don't want to call you. And he said, I got a little work to do. But he does put a lot of stuff into all this stuff to help us all out. And I do appreciate you, brother. Good morning to the world. My name is Chris Johnson, and I'm here to bring on an amazing lady who I got to meet and her husband in Florida. We had a little meetup there. Not only is she beautiful, she's my sister, my impassive sister. Don't get confused. But she's a God-fearing woman, what I love. She actually has a beautiful prayer group in Messenger. If you'd like to get on that, just contact Judy and she'll get you in there. It's very nice. You know me, I believe in prayers, and so does this young lady. She's an amazing individual. I don't know her personal life. I do know more about her husband because of he built the boat, which I was crazy about. But on this note, Marty, bring Judy to the stage here, or the camera, whatever you want to call it. I think I see her. Hold on. He's going to get my big head off there. There we go. Ladies and gentlemen, to a beautiful soul, a Christian woman. I love her with all my heart and her family. Miss Judy Turner Miller, the floor is yours.
Hello, everybody, and thank you, Chris and Marty. And I'd like to God bless everyone today. And Ash and his family, they always need blessings. They go through so much. They've worked so hard for us. And I'd like to tell you a little bit about myself. Pam, I know, told everyone about how we started our family. We started in Canada, and then we moved to California, and then we made a little 2-year stop back in Canada again because my dad got transferred back to Canada, and then we moved back to California. And then I believe that the Canadian company wanted my dad back in Canada, and my mom said, nope, stop. I don't want to move back to Canada again. So we stayed in California. So we were basically raised in California. So all our childhood was mostly in California. And about in 6th grade, I started taking dance lessons, and I was there. I took dancing all the way from 6th grade all the way through to high school. So I spent almost every single day after school at the dance studio, and I took tap and ballet and baton and jazz. So that was kind of my life after school. And after high school, I taught dancing, and I taught dancing for about 20 years. I had my own dance studio. Sometimes it was in a studio, sometimes it was at my house. I turned my back patio into a dance school, and that saved a lot of money because I didn't have to rent a building. And I also worked at the phone company. That was my first job, other than also teaching dancing. And I also went to beauty school. But when I finished beauty school, I decided I didn't like doing women's hair. They were too picky. And so I never did that as a career. I just went to beauty school. And I worked at the phone company for quite a long time. So I had 3 jobs for a long time, but I continued with the teaching dancing because I loved working with the kids, and I loved putting on dance recitals. And I did something that a lot of dance schools didn't do, is I had a theme in mind while we were working on the dance recitals, because it was a lot easier working on choreography if I had a theme in mind. So if I did Salute to America, I always could pick the music and think the costumes up in my head and pick the music if I had a theme. And one time I did a tribute to Mr. Disney. So then it was easy to think up costumes and do the dances. And one time I did Under the Big Top. So it was easy for me to do the recitals, because I always started with the theme, whereas a lot of dance studios, they just put on a recital. So my recitals were very easy to do by picking a theme, and then I could think the costumes, do the music. It was really easy and really, really fun. So that's the way I did my recitals with the kids. It was just really easy and a lot of fun. And something that a lot of you don't know is I've been married multiple times. The first one was a disaster. He had a background I didn't know about, and it wasn't good. And so that was a disaster. And then my second one, although I loved him dearly, he ended up an alcoholic, and it got really bad. And after a while, I said, enough is enough. I can't do this. So everybody has their things in their closet, and I do too. Just I cover it up. Nobody knows, but most of you don't know. I have things hiding in my closet too. I just don't show it. And I'm sure all of you know my best friend in my whole world is my sister Pam. Even though she's 22 months younger than me, she's my best friend. And after I quit the phone company, I did my dance studio for a long time, and I have 5 children, and they were raised in the dance studio. So all but the youngest took dancing too, and they can do amazing things. And a lot of times people would say, well, which one's your favorite? Well, none of them were my favorite. But now I can honestly say the one that's the closest to me is my youngest. He's the one that will always check on me, and he's a founder. And he actually moved to Florida to be close to us, and those grandchildren love their grandma and grandpa. They're close to us. So, but I've also didn't like doing the women's hair. They're too picky. Yep, too picky. But I've run a restaurant for about 6 years. I ran 2 different restaurants. I ran a Subway for a lot of years, about 5 years. And then that owner opened up a Schlotzsky's, which a lot of you may not know what a Schlotzsky's deli is. And some of you might, it depends where you live. But I was a manager of a Schlotzsky's because the owner of the Subway sold all his Subways and opened up a Schlotzsky's deli. Those are delicious sandwiches. Make and bake the bread right in the deli. Awesome bread, awesome sandwiches. And so I managed that for a long time. And then when I finally quit Schlotzsky's, I actually met Russ at a little deli in Oregon. And that's where some of you know my nickname Java Judy. That came because after I met Russ at a little deli, we opened up our own deli in Oregon. And that's when I got the nickname Java Judy, because we had our own little cafe. And I became Java Judy. So I can make lattes. And we had fun with that for a long time, but I got in a car accident. And we still had the deli for a while, but the cafe, but my back hurt too bad and I couldn't do it anymore. But Russ and I ran the cafe for quite a while, and all the kids from the high school would come there and the locals in Redmond, Oregon. And I guess we weren't too far from Manu, but I didn't know Manu then. That was a long time ago. That was a really long time ago. That was 20 years ago. And so it also, I found a mug, and it was a heat sensitive mug, and it was black. And if you put hot coffee in it, the picture on it was a girl that she was all frazzled. And if you put hot coffee in it, then she would just be a real put together secretary. And it would say Java Jane. So I thought, oh, I could be Java Judy. So that's where my nickname came from. And so that's how I got my email, Java Judy. And that stuck around I still have it. But after the car accident, and I've had 5 back surgeries and amongst a gazillion others, and that my back still hurts after 20 years. And then you get arthritis and all kinds of other gazillion things, but ended up in pain forever. But anyway, so that I had that. So then we had to sell the cafe, and I went to, we started raising Jack Russell Terriers, and we at one time we had quite a few of them, but we had a lot of fun doing that. And we would go to shows and show them and race them and that. And then that got to be hard because my back hurt so bad, but we had fun while we did. We were Thistle Creek Jack Russell Terriers, and that was a lot of fun. And then Russ decided he used to work at the airport in DC, and he decided he wanted to go back there and work. So that's what took us to Virginia. And so we gave up the Jack Russell Terriers because I just couldn't do it anymore with my back after so many back surgeries. But so we moved from Oregon to Virginia, and he went back to Dulles Airport, and he was the train manager of the new Aero train. And from the beginning, because they had to dig the whole tunnel under the airport and for the Aero train, because it was a subway system. And so he was in charge of all of that. And on his bucket list was to build a boat someday. So that's where the boat came in for when he retired. And I applied to work as a security guard. And first I was a security guard at AOL. And then an opening came for security guard at Freddie Mac. So I worked in the command center at Freddie Mac, and that was a fun job. That was a lot of fun in the command center with all the bells and whistles and taking all the big calls at security. And so when Ash started talking about the data center, I knew exactly what he was talking about, because I had to go and take any alarms in the data center at Freddie Mac. And so I knew exactly what a data center was. Didn't know how to run a data center, but I mean, I didn't know how to work any of the machines, but I used to go in the data center and make sure there was no smoke alarms. And I always looked in the data center. That was cool. So I knew what one was. So that was kind of nifty, because a lot of people haven't even seen one. And but in the data center, we took all the calls. Anything that would happen would go to the command center. And So that was kind of fun, and we had to take journal all the notes for the day of anything that would happen. So that was kind of fun. I liked that job, but I drove 2 hours to get to work and 2 hours home, so it was far. So I decided to go to dog grooming school, as they wouldn't get mad at you if you did something kind of wrong. So I became a dog groomer, and I did that and be a security guard. But after a while, I just did dog grooming, and I did it in the basement of our house that Russ built. He built us a log home in Virginia. So we've done a lot of things, and I've lived in a lot of states. So it's California and Arizona and Oregon and Virginia. And then when Russ retired, we moved to Florida because I said, no more snow. I don't want any more snow. So that's how we got to Florida, and had quite a few different careers and liked them pretty much all. One of my mistakes kind of is quitting the phone company because I'd have a really, really good retirement because I don't have a retirement. So thus ONPASSIVE, because I just have Social Security and it's not very big. And one day Pam had called me and told me about ONPASSIVE, and I said, are you sure? Are you sure of this? She said, yes, absolutely. So I joined ONPASSIVE in June of 2019. So I've been in it quite a while, and it was Pam that introduced me to ONPASSIVE. But that's a real blessing because I don't have a retirement. So, and when we moved here to Florida, Russ decided he was going to take the top of his bucket list and start building a skiff, which is a boat, and he built it from scratch. And day by day, he'd take these pieces of wood and start putting them together, and it turned into a beautiful, beautiful handmade wooden boat, and it's absolutely gorgeous. And I'm so proud of him because he did his bucket list. Some people never get to their bucket lists. And yeah, it's beautiful. And he takes it out on the river, and I think he's had it out on the ocean. And oh, it's gorgeous. And so he got that off his bucket list, and he had it out about a week ago. And I think we could have taken it out the other day in the driveway with the rain. No, not really. But yeah, so it is beautiful. Chris is right. But so I've had a lot of different things that I've done in my life. So that's really positive because a lot of people can't say that they've done one thing, but they did it well. Like Chris talks about the automotive industry, and he did the one thing, but he did it for a long, long time, and he did it well. He put his heart into it. And we had some friends in Detroit that our friends, man and wife, worked at I don't know if they worked at Ford or GM, but they worked there their whole life. Their whole life they worked there. So whether you have one job or a bunch of little jobs, people used to work really, really, really hard, and they were dedicated. And now it seems like some people just don't want to work at all. They just collect unemployment or something, or welfare. But I worked hard, sometimes 3 jobs, and maybe shouldn't have quit the phone company because I would have had a retirement. The reason I quit there in the first place is because there was my supervisor was an old biddy, and she was not very nice. And I was just young. I was like 20, 21. And I was shy, very, very shy. I used to grab onto my mom's leg, and I was just extremely shy. And I kind of hung on to Pam real tight too. She was so outgoing, and I was just very shy. And I just didn't want to go to work anymore for that old biddy. And actually, I started out when I was in the phone company, I was directory assistant, and I got moved up to the accounting office. But that old lady was mean. So I quit one day, just quit cold turkey. I just couldn't deal with that old lady. But I still did a lot of things. I was proud of myself, but probably shouldn't have quit the phone company at maybe $5 an hour. But I did do a lot of things, and I was proud of my dancing career and the things I did, but did a lot of things in my life. And I'm so proud of ONPASSIVE, and I'm proud of what Ash does for us. I think I would have quit. I would have stopped cold turkey with all the things that he's done and he's put himself through for us. I just can't believe the things, and we don't even know all the things, but we have been told and caught wind of a lot of things that other people have put Ash through. It makes my heart cry of the ignorance of some people. It's not necessary. It's just not necessary to put people through things and the lying. And yes, I am Christian, and it breaks my heart of what people put other people through, lying and cheating. It's not right, and it's awful. It's ridiculous. When Ash set out to do something so wonderful and so beautiful for all of us, and then to lie and cheat and claim stuff that's not true, it's wrong. It's really, really wrong. And I can talk about my 5 kids. My oldest one, that a lot of you kind of knew, she went kind of haywire bonkers. I don't talk to her anymore. And then I have Devin, and Devin is very successful. He lives in Arizona. And I have Kim, and she lives in Oregon, and her husband owns a masonry business. And then Justin lives here in Florida. And then Ryan, did I forget anybody? And Ryan lives here in Florida, and he works for automotive business, and he flies to different states because he teaches computer. He teaches the I guess the formats that Sun Auto uses. So he teaches that to the different Sun Autos. And some of the businesses aren't called Sun Auto. They're still called the name of the business, like, I don't know, Choice Tire Choices. Sun Auto will buy it. And so Sun Auto owns it, but they still keep their own name. So he has to go and teach the computer software that they use. So he flies to different states and teaches them the computer software that they use. So, but he's a founder. And so I'm proud of most of them, just not the top one. She kind of went haywire, and that's whatever. You make your choices. And but I'm excited about ONPASSIVE. Truly live for it and get on as many things as I can and listen to what's going on and what people have to say. And all my friends are in ONPASSIVE. You waving for me to stop?
No, I was waving to Marty. And then you keep talking.
Oh, okay. I will do that. You guys just flirt on the side.
That was good.
Is it cold up your way? You got a sweatshirt on.
Yeah, it's chilly here. 65, 70 degrees.
Oh, I'm sorry. I think it's going to be 88 here today.
Yeah, thanks.
You're welcome. Yeah, it's not real sunny, but it is going to be warm. But yeah, we just had our hurricane come through, and we picked our spot very good. It's in north central Florida, and we get the rain and we get the wind, but nothing ever happens right where we live. However, there are parts of Florida that get heavy rain, and we do have to pray because it does do havoc on a lot of parts of Florida, and mostly it's everybody on the coast, either the Gulf Coast or the other side. They do get havoc, and places get wrecked really bad. And I do pray that God will kind of lighten up on the coast, because it does. Places get wrecked, and there's places where a tree will just plop on top of a house or a mobile home, and bad things happen. And weather can be bad, and it's sad, but it's mostly on the coasts that gets it bad, and then it goes up the coast.
Well, we're definitely praying for everyone in Florida now. Those storms are going everywhere.
Yeah.
Judy, you did a phenomenal job. You told us everything. You told us some personal things. I appreciate that. I will say many prayers for your daughter, and for your family all the time. You said something that really caught my attention. Everyone always does. You said some people never get to do their bucket list. Some people never even write a bucket list. And that's so true. And you also said, people work their whole lives, and that's probably a reason they can't touch their bucket list, because they're so busy, or they need to make the income. Everything's so expensive. And you said a lot of great things on there. But yeah, one of the greatest things in the last 4 years for me was to watch you and Rush get that boat going, because I know he's gone through a lot of stuff. Prayers, and God has kept him strong. But if you ever get a chance, ask Judy to see that boat, because it is beautiful. But I did not know you were a dancer. I learned all kind of stuff about you today. I know, if you don't know, we said it a couple times. We had Pam on yesterday. This is her younger sister. Pam's younger sister. And you can see they're really two different people, but they both have the same heart, and they both love each other, family oriented. I love it. But
I'm the oldest.
All right, I didn't want to say that.
That's okay.
Yeah, Pam is 26 and you're 27, right? I think
right.
That. But I want to thank you. Go ahead. What are you going to say?
We have an older one too, but
really,
yeah, she's 3 years older than me. I'm 22 months older than Pam, and then Lana is 3 years older than me. But she's quiet and reserved. She lives in Montana.
Ah, nice.
I would not want 9 months of snow.
No,
thank you.
I don't want 1 month of snow.
No.
But
she was an RN. Lonnie was an RN and worked with neonatal babies.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, that's cool. We're gonna have to get her. Is she a founder?
No. Yeah. Well, yeah. No. Wait. Yes.
Yes.
But I don't think she believes it.
She's not engaged, right?
Right. Yeah.
Not a lot of those people.
And she's married to a Marine retired and / policeman retired.
Ah.
Yes.
Good.
Yeah.
Well, Judy Miller, we want to thank you. I'm going to let give the floor to Marty here. I think you're gorgeous, beautiful. I love your heart and I love your face. So, Marty DeGarmo.
Thank you so much, both of you.
Judy, that was amazing. The only thing I can't figure out is I thought you were about 150, not because of your looks, but you've done everything. Yeah. Holy moly. So I've done this, I've done that, I've done that. I'm like, I don't think there's anything you haven't done. That was amazing.
Commander Java Judy is your new name. Commander from being in the command center, Java from the coffee shop, and Judy Turner Miller.
I mean, you really did so many things, and wow, the experience is unbelievable that you have.
And it's crazy. Funny because I worked in the command center at AOL, and then old AOL, and then when I moved to Freddie Mac, it was because they paid $3 an hour more. So it's like, I'm moving.
Oh yeah. That's exactly right. That was fantastic though. And I'm sure we had almost 300 people here watching. It will go to 3,000 probably. So very good. I think you'll inspire a lot of people to do the same thing. It's people like you, Judy, that make UNPASSIVE what it is. No doubt about it. And I thank you so much. So anyway, everybody, this was fantastic. Make sure you share this. And tomorrow we have
Michael Williams. And let me say something about that first. One of our main goals is to get people that are always there, but they don't talk a lot. Consider Judy, but she gets on a lot of webinars. That's the goal, to bring different people out. And then once in a while, we got to bring a big hitter in, like Michael Williams, who I'm curious because I know a little bit about Michael, but not everything. And I don't know what he's going to share, but it'll be fun. That's at 10 o'clock tomorrow. It's going to be very interesting, actually. Hopefully we don't scrap, but it'll be a good time. But Judy, go ahead.
I got to tell you one more thing. I prayed hard before I came on because usually when I talk in a high voice.
Yeah, you do. You didn't.
Okay, that's my scared voice. And one time in high school, my friend said, "Why do you talk in a high voice in class and you don't when you just talk to me?" And I said, I don't know. Well, over the years, I figured it out. My high voice is my scared voice. And so before I came on, I prayed and I said, God, please don't let me talk in my high voice. Please, please don't let me talk in my high voice. And I didn't. And I am so grateful.
Your voice was the same. Yeah.
I
think you did very well. Yeah.
My high voice is my scared voice and my nervous voice. And I didn't talk in it, and I can't control it. I cannot control it.
I've heard your high voice before.
So God controlled my voice today, and it didn't go to my scared and nervous voice.
No.
And you weren't nervous, were you?
Nope.
Well, a little bit, but I didn't go to my high voice because I can't control it. If it goes high, I can't make it go to my normal voice. I can't do it. So
I thought I heard Russ in the background say, "Thank you, God, thank you."
So God let me have my regular voice. He didn't let me
there
go to my
go.
scared
voice. He always answers.
Well,
thank you, everybody. Thank you, Judy. That was amazing.
It was great.
Say goodbye, everybody, and have a great rest of your day. And we'll be back with Michael Williams tomorrow.
In 6 months, we're going to do Judy again. So see what she's really doing.
Yeah, we can do her 10 more times because she does a lot, man.